What's up, everybody? Eric here with another EWE review. Today we're going to be talking about the Meg 2. But before we get into that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. But yeah, this is the Meg 2, The Trench. This is a science fiction action film. It has a PG-13 rating with the release date of August 4th, 2023. The director is Ben Whitley. The cast includes Jason Statham, Woo Jing, Shuya Sophia, Cliff Curtis, Paige Kennedy, Sergio Perez Manchada, with a runtime of 116 minutes, and I watched this in Dolby format, and once the credits start rolling, you can leave. There's no post-credit stuff. Hopefully that means there's no sequel, but you never know. Alright, so the basic plot of this film is after the events of the first movie, Jonas and his team continue to work with Mano 1 to find out what's going on in the trench. They end up doing another exploration down there. They've done a bunch of them, but now they do one specific in this movie. And they're going down there to check out this other area, but things just go crazy when they're down there, and it leads to a bunch of stuff they were not expecting. That's the basic plot of the movie. If you've seen the trailer, you know, yeah, there's megalodons down there, but it's even dumber than that, if I'm being perfectly honest. So, let's move on to my thoughts about the movie. So, this is going to be a quick review, just because this movie does not give you a lot to work on. So, here's the biggest bad thing about this film. It doesn't go hard enough into the comedy aspect of this. So, like, I was hoping this was going to be closer to Sharknado than Jaws. But it's weirdly in the middle. And it's like, that's not where you want to be for a movie like this. You either want to be, you're going serious, but you're bad with being serious. Or you're going comedy, but you're just going dumb comedy. And this movie just chooses to be in the middle. There's comedy aspects to it, but it seems like they just didn't go far enough with it. Oh, excuse me. And that kind of ruins the experience a little bit, because like I said, I wanted Sharknado. I wanted something just over the wall, like, go crazy with it. Do something that's like, you know what? I'll give you credit for going crazy with it. But it felt rather safe, and yeah, it just didn't work for me the way I wanted to. I wanted to go into this movie and just be like, you know what? It's so bad, it's good. But it wasn't that. So there is this weird thing where things did happen. Like, does have this thing where, like, 5 years have happened from the end of the first movie to the start of the second movie, and so many things happen in there. Like, this is a spoiler-free review, but even when you see, you're like, that was a huge jump from one movie to another movie. Okay. And there's one thing that happens right away. We were like, oh, okay, that's not what I expected. Again, spoiler-free. And it's just like, what the hell? You can also tell some actors are just like, yeah, we're not coming back for this because this is ridiculous. And there's also this one funny thing in the trailer, I just needed to point this out, where one of the characters is just like, oh, hopefully it doesn't go as bad as it did last time, or something like that. And I'm like, looking at this character, I'm like, she wasn't even in the first movie. What the hell is she talking about? But again, these movies don't care about, like, oh, are we consistent with what happened in the other ones? They're putting plot holes in there just for the fun of it. Alright, so here's the biggest travesty of the movie. The sharks aren't even really the biggest deal there. I wouldn't even call them, like, the main enemy either. It's weird. We see a bunch of different little creatures. Like, if you've seen the trailer, like, these little ones that can be on land and water, like, they're in it. There's this giant, I can't say what it is because spoiler free, but those other ones, you've seen them. There's, like, a bunch of different little creatures that are there, and it's kind of like, okay, but the star of the thing should be the Megalodon. Like, this felt like Jurassic Park, where they're saying, like, oh yeah, it's a movie about dinosaurs, but the last one was about locusts or something like that. And it's just like, I came to watch Megalodons, like, in that one I came to watch dinosaurs, not this other crap. And it's just like, it felt like the Megalodons were just like, oh yeah, they're an afterthought about this. So yeah, that kind of sucked a little bit. And then I do wonder if Jason Statham is the reason. Like, I made this joke in the Fast X review where Vin Diesel's parts felt way too serious, and I'm wondering if Jason Statham did the same thing in this, where he's like, oh no, but my parts can't be silly, they need to be serious. And I'm wondering if that's very similar to what happened, where, like, parts of the movie don't make sense because part of it feels like it's a comedy, part of it feels like it's trying to be serious, and it's like, you have to pick a lane, and this movie just couldn't pick a lane. And I'm wondering if that's what happened, because it just felt so off. I was very confused about that. I will say the end of the movie did confuse me, because I'm like, oh, that's how you're, like, it still has an open ending, and I'm just like, could they make a third one? I hope not, because that I left that theater and I was just like, what did I just watch? Like, this wasn't what I wanted. I don't know if they realized what we even wanted. I just rewatched the first one this past weekend, and I just watching that, I was like, you know what? That made a little bit more sense than this. Even though it was bad, I was like, that at least made sense. Like, they thought they were making a serious movie, and it just came out looking dumb. This is like, you guys know it's dumb, but you don't go hardcore into the dumbness of it. It's like, you guys ruined an opportunity. Let's move on to the good now. When the movie does try to be silly, it is fun. Like, there's moments where you're just like, okay. But like I even said, I just noticed Jason Statham isn't in those parts. So I'm like, I wonder if there was something in him saying like, no, I can't look that goofy in this. And there was, seeing a bunch of the creatures was fun. Don't get me wrong. I wanted the Megs to be the star, but seeing all those creatures was cool. There is the one thing I have to make a joke about. In the trailer, Jason Statham makes these things like, they were like, oh, that's the biggest Meg I've ever seen. It's like, that's the biggest Meg anyone's ever seen. It's like, to that point in the film, if we count the first movie and the second movie, they've only seen 5 Megs. And not everyone in the world's seen them. So him being like, oh, that's the biggest, it's like, well, no shit. Like, you guys haven't seen that many Megs. A sample size of 5 is not a huge sample size. So, and like, 2 of them are really small. So I was just like, okay, that was a really dumb thing to say. But yeah. So let's move on now, guys. I wish I could say there's more good in this movie. Like, some of the action is fun. Like, some of the set pieces, I will admit, that's fun to see. It's just very dumb how it's all set up. But I did have fun with some of the set pieces. How they killed some of the sharks was stupid. But I was like, you know what? At least you're leaning into the ridiculous at this point. So that was fine with me. Sorry guys, I'm just laughing. There are parts of it that's it's so dumb, but it's like, it makes you laugh a little bit. Alright, so let's now move on to my score. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10 for it's just bad. I definitely don't recommend you go watch this. I don't know if it's worth it to watch it. I think you can go watch TMNT. That's at least fun and good. So yeah, go watch that instead. I'm sad because I love shark movies. If any of you, I haven't really done much of this, but I love shark movies. I would like to do something where I would just watch a shark movie a week, do a review on it, and just say, you know what, that's bad, that's good. Most of them are going to be bad. Outside of Jaws, I want to say most shark movies are bad, but at least some of them own up to being bad. This just did not own up to it enough. But yeah, guys, for my next review, I think I'm watching some Dracula movie. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's The Last Voyage of the Demeter, I think, but I could be wrong about the name. But yeah, that's the next movie I plan to watch. And yeah, I think soon, there's other movies coming out soon. I think like next week. I can't remember what I'm watching. I think Blue Beetle is out next week. I definitely want to see that. I'm hoping to have a superhero movie that I'm just like super excited about and really like. Guardians, I would it was that, but I'm like, I need something more. Just one, it's like this year is not good enough. Alright guys, thank you for watching and I'll talk to you soon.